Hello and welcome back to the Stitch with Love podcast. My name is Shannon. I am a knitter, crocheter and final year accounting student, currently based in Scotland. If you are new here, welcome. If not, thank you for coming back. If you would like to follow me on social media, I will leave those handles on the screen and also in the description below. I normally post on those pretty much every day. Haven't this week, just unfortunately have not been able to, health reasons, but looking to get back into it. So if you want to see a more kind of day-to-day, what I'm working on, that would be the place to follow me. So today, I thought I'd left something in the other room, but turns out I actually remembered to bring it with me and just had a bit of a, I don't know, brain fart. But anyway, today we have a pretty much finished object, just needs to be blocked. And I have works in progress, and for the first time I don't know how long, I have an acquisition. It's only a small one, but it is an acquisition. So if you want to see what I am making and yarny related content for this week, stick around and let's get into it. So first we will talk about my pretty much finished object. Said I just need to block it. I was wanting to get like proper blocking mats and blocking pins for this, but don't think I'm going to be able to get them in time. I might just need to block it without. This is my Lavender Haze V-neck by Knits by Pia. This is a test knit, so I have finished it. I think mine's slightly cropped, but I mean, to be fair, I prefer a slightly more cropped jumper anyway. And this is superwash merino and nylon, so it'll probably grow. What else was I saying about this? This is Mama Wooling Plush DK, which is, as I mentioned, merino nylon superwash. The colourway is Potion, and normally when it comes to cables, see if I hold it up and you can probably see a little bit more what I'm talking about. When it comes to cables, I normally prefer a more plain yarn, but this is what I happen to have in my stash, and to be perfectly honest, I quite like it. So it's looking very autumnal. We still have a little bit left of summer. It's lovely and sunny today. A couple of days ago we had a random hailstorm, which was odd, but for the most part the weather's still quite decent. But it will start to cool down shortly. The days are already getting shorter, so don't think it will be that long. But yes, first item, it just needs a block. Once it's blocked, I'll show what it looks like on. I will not have time to block it before I edit this and put this out, so in a future podcast. So, on to works in progress. We have another test knit. This is the Dance Floor Top by Knitsy. There we go, got it in the end. Never ending eye cord, but yeah, this is lovely. I'm loving this in the red. This yarn is from Soster and Gran. It's their 8/4 cotton, and I don't know, I just really love this colour. So I am now, I think this is just like the body section, I think now, done all the increasing. So quite, right, probably just like the stage, I'm trying to think of the words for it. Yeah, there's no shaping, it's just knitting the rib pattern. So that's quite a nice place to be on this. These are quite small needles. I had to go down a size. Was it 2 sizes? I think 2 sizes, just because I'm a loose knitter. These are 2mm needles. These are actually just like the cheap dropped ones. I got them from Wool Warehouse a wee while ago. There you go. But I mean, they work perfectly fine. I've had no issues with them. So if you're looking for some affordable not even drops needles, just some affordable circular needles, the drop ones seem to be quite alright. So working away on this, and I don't know what else to say about this one, to be perfectly honest. It's a test knit. I can't remember how long I have left of the test. I think still a decent amount of time. I need to check. I'm pretty sure I was going to set up my Ravelry page, so if I haven't already done that, I will do that so that I can link it. But yeah, work in progress number 1, and I'm really loving how the red is showing up on camera. Just such a nice red. Sausage and gratin, if you're looking for some just like basic 100% cotton fingering weight yarn, is great. Has a very big range of colours and some really lovely colours. So if you're looking for some relatively affordable 100% cotton yarn and you have a sausage and gratin near you, I would recommend. I think it's like £2.35 I think per ball, which is I think quite decent. We'll do this one, and then I have a feeling this might be a new cast on. I can't remember. Anyway, this is my self-drafted cardigan. Now, I was knitting on this. This is one of the front panels. I finished it. It looks very, very long. It's gonna be quite a long cardigan. That's okay. I don't mind that. So I finished both front panels and the back panel. I am now on the first sleeve I have just cast on. Here we go. I've just cast on using, this is the like Italian cast on, I think. The one that looks seamless. Yeah, pretty sure that's the Italian. No, tubular. Tubular cast on. I've just knit a couple of rows of 1 by 1. So I will knit the cuff and then I'll start doing the increase to the sleeves. This is quite a wide sleeve. Like my needle's not going to cooperate with me trying to do this, are they? Like if you imagine that's the cuff, like it's quite a wide cuff. But I'm basing this off a cardigan that I already own and I like the fit of. So, and it's quite a wide sleeve. But yes, start with that. These are 3.5mm needles. These are my Liquet needles, and I love them. I love them so much. The yarn is just some non-superwash wool. I can't remember what breed. I can't remember who the farm or whoever produced it. I picked it up in New Zealand a few years ago. I have this colour and then like the cream colour that you would have seen everything else knit in, this one. So yeah, I'm quite happy. I'm slowly working away and chipping away at this. Once everything has been, like all the panels have been knit, this does not want to go back in the bag. What I'll do is weave in any of the ends that are not going to be used for seaming and then block them. I think that this is one where the pieces need to be blocked before I seam them together. I think it's just going to be so much easier and it will sit better if I block them first. So at some point I really am going to need to get proper blocking mats and like blocking pins so that I can block this properly. But I have a feeling it might take me a little bit to finish both sleeves, so it gives me a little bit of time. And the last work in progress is this one. Now I believe this is a new cast on. There isn't much on this right now, but this is the start of the Nuage sweater by Valentina Bogdanova. My brain is like half asleep today. I really need to move these onto a longer cable. I've got little bee like needle stoppers. I've had these for a while, but just because there are stitch markers everywhere and I don't want them to fall off. Also stops my stitches falling off as well, so. But yes, there isn't much, it doesn't look like much. I'm trying to show it, but it's kind of hard to see at this stage. This yarn is Mama Wooling Misty Mohair, so that's her mohair silk base. This colourway is, I can't remember the name of it now. Virgo Season, there we go, I had to look at the tag. There is also the that's mohair. The fingering weight, this is merino nylon, same dyer, same colourway. I've had this pattern on my queue and the wool in my stash for years, I think, at this point, so I finally cast it on, and despite the fact that there isn't much progress, I actually have really been enjoying working on this. It's just, I have the test knit, and I will have some more test knits which I'll talk about afterwards. So I've been focusing on those, but I'm hoping I'll get some more done on this today, and at some point I am going to look at moving over to a longer cable because this is very bunched up. I think these are 3mm needles. So yeah, new cast on there, and I'm very happy to have finally cast this on because I've wanted to knit this jumper for so long. And I'm finally doing it. Acquisition. So I've mentioned Sostra and Gran before, and we went in there last week and had a look around, and I saw that they had some new yarn. I don't know how long that's been there. It might have actually been there for a while and I just hadn't seen it. But this is apparently sock yarn. Now the only thing I'm not sure about is it looks like it's single ply, which I normally wouldn't use for socks because it's not that durable, but I wanted to give it a go, and I mean the colours are very pretty. So these are what the colours look like. There you go. They had another colour there as well, but I was really drawn to this. This is yarn for socks, so it's 75% wool, 25% polyamide. See if I can find more information about it. It can be washed on a wool cycle actually, on 30 degrees, but it cannot be tumble dried. It makes sense. It's pretty standard, I think, for anything wool, even superwash wool. Recommended 2 to 3mm needle size. What? 2 to 3mm needles or crochet hook, and there's about 200 grams in 50 grams. These are 50-gram cakes. So I think if you wanted to make full size socks, you might need 2, but I tend to make shorties, so 50 grams is more than enough, especially if I do a contrast, like cuff and toe, or heel and toe, or whatever combination you want to do. So yeah, I'm really excited to try this. It's so pretty. But yeah, my little acquisition. I can't remember, this wasn't very much. £5.53. I mean, that it is only 50 grams, but I don't think that's disastrous, to be fair. I was like, for fibre, you know, I can give it a go, see what it's like. And as I mentioned, there will be more test knits. I cannot seem to stop test knitting. I think especially with, I mean, I am working now, so this isn't as much of an issue as it has been. So it's not been as much of an issue as it has been, but when I wasn't working, the test knits gave me something to work towards and something to do other than my uni. So they were very helpful for that. And the test knits I've been selected for this time around were all designers I've knit for, like test knit before. Test knit for before. Got there in the end. So as I said, mentioned the one by Knitsy. Already cast that on over halfway through the pattern. The other two are Alethea Handmade, who made the J top. If I have a photo, I will pop that up of my version. And the second one is Lily Kate France, or Lily Kate Makes on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. And I test knit the, actually it's right here. I test knit the checker plate tee. What? I thought I trimmed all my ends, but I've just found. Really? I took finished object photos and everything. Well, I'll need to trim those. Oh my gosh. I've worn this out. I had no idea there was a loose end. This is the checker plate tee, and this was the first test that I did for Lily. And really enjoyed it, enjoyed the process. So I am very excited to be test knitting again. But yes, so I've got 2 new test knits on the go. As I mentioned, I did actually take some photos of me wearing this, so I will pop those up if I can. But yes, so more test knitting on the way. Keeping myself busy, that's for sure. And I do enjoy the process of test knitting. I know some people don't like it as much. I think it's one of those things, it's for some people, but for other people, and I can understand why, they just make it think, they just makes them think of like stress, because you've got a deadline and you've got a bunch of things you've got to do. So, but I really enjoy it. And yeah, so I will be casting those on shortly. Need to figure out yarn, but I will sort that. So you will probably see some more test knits in the future. I think that's all for this week. I seem to be, it's a brief chatter, I guess. I seem to be having lots of ideas at the moment, which I don't know if that's partly to do with I've been going to work, but then other than that, I've spent a lot of time on my sofa and in bed, not by choice. And so I think, I don't know, something about that just kind of got the creative juices flowing, apparently. So I got a really vivid idea yesterday evening for potentially a jumper that I'd want to design. And I've figured out what yarn I'd want to use and things like that. So maybe at some point, once I finish the self-drafted cardigan, I might look at doing that. And then also been kind of toying with the idea of trying to set up doing tech editing. As I mentioned, I'm an accounting student, so I'm quite used to dealing with numbers and spreadsheets, and part of my training is you get trained to have quite an analytical brain. That's my cat coming in. Hi, Ozzy! She just pushed the door open. But you get taught to have quite an analytical brain and to pick up little indiscrepancies and things like that. So I feel like I'd be quite good at it potentially. And I like the idea of it. The issue is I don't know how to get started. But maybe I'll look at that at some point. But yeah, just had lots of those little sort of thoughts today. No, not even today. This week. So there's my little bit of chatter for today. What are you doing? I don't know what she's exploring. You can't see her because she's on the floor, but anyway, that is all for today. As I mentioned at the beginning, if you would like to follow me on my social media, I will leave those on the screen and in the description below. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to give me a like and consider subscribing so that you don't miss any future episodes. And I will see you in the next video. Until then, enjoy your crafting, and I will see you later. Bye bye.